Well, 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 if it turns out, if it isn't the consequences of our actions, we're finding out that many of Twitch's top quote unquote stars may not exactly be the best human beings on the planet. See, this is not going to be something that's shocking to my viewers. I talk about this all the time. Always be wary of these content creator cliques. Literally nothing good comes out of them. I mean, I was just invited to a content house and for a vacation, and like no disrespect, but like my policy is absolutely not. You just don't party with a bunch of content creators. I don't think that that's good business. Now, is that being paranoid? Yeah, probably. But I'm a little bit older. You know, a lot of these people who are getting caught up in all this nonsense are just kids that have probably never actually felt the warm walls before and don't know how to interact with women. And what we have now is some content creator called Slick, not Slicker, to be confused with the gambling degenerate guy, who allegedly touched a bob while someone was passed out. That's the information that we have. Of course, Twitch, because there's not a lot to talk about in the content world right now, is treating it as if it's the absolute worst thing to ever happen. Look, it's not okay, and some of the things that are being alleged after the fact are just almost worse in a lot of ways. So essentially, what you have is this: some low tier streamer, no disrespect, but it's just the truth. Some low tier streamer ends up at a house party. Again, this is why you don't drink with other content creators either, unless they're like, yeah, boys. Okay. You don't stay at their houses. You don't, once you get drinks involved, you end up with some girl who's some pretty girl who's also a streamer, who consumes to excess at a popular streamer's house. Mizkif, apparently his name is. I don't watch this guy. I don't watch Twitch streamers. No disrespect if you do enjoy them, but again, the guy should be smarter than this. You shouldn't have people underage drinking at your house. You should also be very careful about who you allow into your house for these content houses or these because while everything is content, it also means that everything is content. And now you have a situation where a woman who has consumed too much is passed out, with another streamer allegedly there to quote unquote check on her, in which he touches her in places allegedly that he was just taking her pulse. She claims that other people in the room said that you don't check a pulse near an areola. This is what the claims are, right? So predictably, the guy who's being accused of this has now, of course, brought out the self-harm card, which makes it much more difficult to actually criticize his behavior. It's frustrating, annoying, and predictable. The guy behind this, whose behavior is being called into question, suddenly disappeared. CrazySlick found after going missing and sending goodbye messages. This is a very real thing. I don't mean to minimize it. I don't mean to suggest that he was lying or not in a state where he needs mental help. But what I will say is it's awfully convenient, okay? That two things can be true, all right? We saw this with people like Zoe Quinn. We've seen this with people who get a lot of internet backlash will immediately say, oh, I'm not in a good place right now, and they use it as a shield. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But this guy went missing for a few hours after it. So here's, in a nutshell, what happened. So he touches a bob, this CrazySlick guy, allegedly. Okay? Whatever. Okay? You shouldn't be hanging around underage people who are drinking anyway. Idiot. Okay, I can call you an idiot, and I call Mizkif an idiot for having people who are underage consuming alcohol at his house, especially when the guy's a multimillionaire. Very stupid decision. This is what happens when you end up with children getting huge sums of money. So allegedly, so this streamer is called AdrianahLee. Never heard of her before. Doesn't mean what she's saying isn't true. Doesn't mean she's also not clout chasing. Again, two things can be true. So months later, it comes out that apparently this issue did come up at the house, and Mizkif and his girlfriend or wife or whatever, Maya, had coerced her into including some statements in her statement about the incident. Now, Lee has claimed that Mizkif and his then-girlfriend Maya asked her to keep certain information private. Now, that's the concerning part of it. Also, the way that Mizkif has reacted to this is also particularly spicy. So Ice Poseidon puts out this tweet. Last night, Ice Poseidon exposed Mizkif for using a variety of slurs and DMs back to 2018, 2019, including the gamer word and also phobic slurs. He says, you in the RV, I want to drink. This guy's he says the SPIC word. Then he talks about there's an N word in the car. I don't know if he thought he was being edgy here. Again, allegedly he has apologized for this multiple times. All of this, by the way, is because people came after a content creator named Trainwrecks. So Trainwrecks is a Gamba streamer. He streams slot machines and whatever. So you see Pokimane, you see Mizkif saying, oh, we're going to go on strike unless Twitch bans this type of content. So what happens? Trainwrecks comes out and says, oh, maybe you should clean up your own house, like how you covered up this situation where a man put his hands on a woman in an unwanted way in your home, and then you coached him on it. Now, they say, some people are saying, oh, why, if this was such a big deal, why didn't Trainwrecks, if he knew about it, why didn't he say anything till now just to win some Twitter argument? I think that's a fair criticism. Other people say that this woman didn't want this information coming out. If that's true, then why is she telling everybody? Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter if Train used it to win an internet argument. It doesn't change the fact that it may be true. And you end up with this situation now where it's a huge mess. Like, just a massive mess on Twitch. You have all their top stars getting caught up in this, all because they can't. I don't know how old this Mizkif is, but the dude's got to know better. I don't really know or care. He's 27. He's a grown adult. This happened when he was 25 or 26, already a multimillionaire. At that point, he should have known better. And you see where we have AdrianahLee speaking out after Trainwreck accuses Mizkif and Maya of covering up a situation. Again, what do we have here? All your gods are garbage. Okay, that's essentially what this is. Twitch is high school. It's dominated by 7 or 8 streamers, and it's cringe. Okay, you have like Pokimane, Asmongold, Mizkif, Hassan, and they all hang out together, and they all consume alcohol together, and they all are degenerate together, in my opinion. And all this stuff starts coming out, and you have this person, I don't know, a year after the incident, she posted about it on Twitter, claiming that CrazySlick followed her around, trying to kiss her, and was seen touching her and her neck after she'd passed out. Gross, dude. She then allegedly told CrazySlick supposedly did it out of concern to see if she was alive. Yeah, that's how I was. I'm a second titty, want to make sure she's alive. But he didn't like do anything crazy. However, Trainwreck brings this up. Maybe you should really clean up your own house before you start ruining it. But again, I was told that just come out and kick Slick out. We'll come out to a middle ground, so we don't have to kick him out. You'll be fine. This resulted in the Twit Longer, which is described as a diluted version of the story that was purportedly proofread by several people, including Maya, to downplay the situation and frame CrazySlick in a more favorable light. Now, all of us normal people have seen some dude or some girl who's like had too many get too handsy at a party. It's not like this stuff doesn't happen. Usually, they get handled by other people at the party. But in this content creation world, where you have one guy giving Twitch staff $50,000 or former Twitch staff huge checks, huge checks in crypto. You have Mizkif streamers are all garbage. I mean, this guy has like the image from blacked.com as his icon. I mean, did you really think he was going to be, on the up and up?
90% of people, look.
Here's what he says. He just thinks it's no big deal. He kind of blows it off with, this is Mizkif talking here.
I don't think there's a single person that we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with like anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's fucking like sexual harassment, right?
Oh no.
I mean, no one.
So this is Destiny listening to a clip, but like, essentially, right, he just downplays the whole thing. It looks really bad for Mizkif. You see AdrianahLee, who has been posting numerous receipts about this CrazySlick guy. Here's twitch.tv/Alicia tweeting her, like, said he was thirsty. And a lot of this stuff is just dude being thirsty, which is not that big of a deal. But it does become a deal when you're like a super popular streamer. You have to be really careful. I mean, it's like, if you're single and you're a popular streamer, you can't just be thirst posting. You can't be DMing people when you're drinking. You can't be, because first of all, even if that stuff doesn't come out, there is a real power dynamic there that has to be considered. You can't just, feel like, oh, I was just hitting on her. Like, yeah, but you are a gateway to success. And it does put people in a weird position at times. And you see here, like, a lot of people here, CrazySlick, are you drunk? No, just cringe. Sorry, have a good night. Yeah, because I publicly talk about my implants and I also have an OF. Doesn't mean I want my friends talking to me like that. Oh, sorry. Just to clarify, I'm a normal pleb. Yeah, so I said something obviously out of control there. This guy's just doesn't seem like he seems like he's kind of cringe and creepy. Was he trying to resuscitate her via nip? I don't know, but you can see she's posted numerous females' bad interactions with this guy. But the real concerning thing is that you have Mizkif and Maya allegedly massaging her, her recounting of the situation to try and protect their friend, which is really suspect. And again, you get xQc involved in this. Like, it's all of these people getting involved in this drama because most of them are just not good people. And what money does is it doesn't change people for the most part. It amplifies who they really are. And there's people you see out there who are successful and don't really change. I think Asmongold's probably a good example of that. And then there's people who get a bunch of money and then they're covering up for their friends, groping girls at their underage girls at their parties and stuff like that. It's a mess, and I don't care at all. All these people seem like they're genuinely not good people, so let it burn. Hope you enjoyed this video, though. We'll talk to you again real soon.